It's time for EdTech Mondays, brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.
In this final episode of our May series, we bring the conversation together, exploring how Nigeria can build a scalable and coordinated system for alternative learning pathways, leveraging innovation, technology, and quality design and implementation. So today we ask the biggest question: what will it take to scale alternative learning pathways across Nigeria? Welcome to EdTech Mondays Nigeria, where we have critical conversations about leveraging technology to improve teaching and learning. My name is Nisimadu, Managing Partner at CC Hub, and I'm your host on this last episode of our May series, Beyond the Classroom, Alternative Pathways for Learning and Earning. I still have my guests with me, Dr. Fumilayo Doherty, Director, Center for Research Support and Grants Management at YabaTech, and Chioma Ukpabi, co-founder and CEO, SUWK Technologies. Let's get right into the conversation.
We had a story of a young girl that the mother was selling her book, and she could not even speak English, but initially she didn't know how to do anything but at the end she could repair. So it's all about the skills. And she was using Yoruba to talk. When we had the documentary with her, she used Yoruba to talk about what she had learned, how she could repair phone, and that was it for us. It's about the skill, not even that you could even speak English or not, but for the fact that you have learned something and you are making a good livelihood out of it. Yeah. So we have a lot of success stories, and some of them who are being engaged. A lot of them got internship online, because part of the support we told them, those who are above 18, that please open a LinkedIn page, showcase yourself, what you can do, the kind of phones you can repair, and many of them got opportunities for internships even online. And there's another thing we are trying to tell them, that don't learn and stop. Lifelong learning, continue to learn. So many of them are even hungry for more digital. They want to learn more. They are moving forward. They are moving ahead, and we are supporting them in that. And even now, we are still supporting those who have gotten jobs, who have their businesses. We are still supporting them. We are still mentoring them. We have not left them. We are still supporting them to do a lot of things.
Thank you very much, Dr. Doherty. And it's really interesting what you shared and what Chioma has shared as well, across a range of different key things that have emerged as you've implemented the program and how you've designed for it. Chioma talked about, from their perspective, is making sure they find artisan mentors within where the young learners live, so that transportation is not an issue. You talked about that in your program. You give them stipends, which is great, but then regardless of there's no language barrier, essentially. Yes. Is what you shared, that you've also taken that into consideration in terms of how these young girls can participate in the program.
My name is Chioma Ukpabi. I'm the co-founder of SUWK Technologies Limited. What we do as SUWK Technologies Limited is that we have developed an EdTech platform that provides young people that are living in low-income communities access to quality tutor-led vocational comprehensive practical training. SUWK really stands out from the fact that we focused on trades and vocational skills. But looking at the communities where the young people come from, the things they see that their neighbor is a hairdresser, they see that their other neighbor is a fashion designer. So they want to also be the same, right? And that's what has grown in those communities. So we actually leverage on that. You don't need a laptop. You could just it's a mobile first solution. If we take our phones right now, we see that over 20 million young people in Nigeria are either unemployed, underemployed, don't even have skills to even make them employable. And it's a very big problem. It's eating deep root into our communities, and it's making people to, want to resort to other social vices to be able to make ends meet. We've been doing this for over 2 years now, and so far we've done this for over 2,800 young people across several communities in Nigeria. We've also helped over 900 of them secure both full-time jobs and part-time jobs across several sectors. When we train more people, that means we are also helping a lot of families apart from the individuals that are learning. You know, there are some people that they've learned a skill and they have about 10 people under them going to be well taken care of. And when one person is taking care of those 10 people, it motivates the other ones to also want to learn and also now help more people. So that is how the ripple effect of what SUWK is doing can help in our community. I just saw something about change makers. It just opened. I'm like, when was this? When did this open? And then I followed the Fund It Forward page. I saved a couple, turned off notifications, and I was waiting for the time the show would come up, so that, because I feel like this is an opportunity to show what we're doing and also let people know that, yes, hey, there's a company called SUWK somewhere doing something great for Nigeria. So yeah.
And my last question, and it's the same question to both of you. We have, as we understand, Nigeria has a teeming youth population. We have young people, across our country who, if we empower them with the skills, they can create a better quality of life for themselves, but then also lead to economic growth, right, for our country and for the continent. And this means that we need similar programs or organizations like SUWK and the GSP program in Yabatech to happen across the country at scale for us to be able to empower young people. So my question is, what would your advice be to organizations, to government, to other EdTech startups looking to design, programs such as this that empower young people to move from learning to earning? What would your advice be to them? The key things they need to take into consideration as they build or as they design the program. Chioma, we'll start with you and then we'll come to Dr. Doherty.
Okay, I think one of the things I really want the government and partners and even other people that also want to venture into any EdTech at all, be it in TVET or whatever, digital skills or normal K-12. I think the first thing we need to understand that is we need to build it in such a way that it's flexible, right? Especially for we that are with the people in an age of where they can actually want to start learning and then immediately start earning. We need to build in such a way that it's flexible and and you need to make sure that whatever platform you're building is being built and tied into economic opportunities. Now, for the government, for example, I'm going to say when programs are being designed, it should be designed in such a way that beyond the stipend for transports and everything or the feeding during the programs, government should make sure that they get to, if there is a space where these young people can easily, transition into. Some of them will tell you, just like I mentioned earlier, I want to continue working. Then there are places where they can continue, like there are jobs that there are policies that can be created for organizations to even have an open hands to want to bring them in, to want to continue, working there and getting the little that they can. And then there's some people that say, I want to start a business, but I do not have the tools. The government can actually, build more of these spaces where they can, work into, use it part-time, pay for it. Now for partners, the same thing. When you want to make people benefit from whatever programs you're doing, you should make sure that it's holistic, just like what Dr. Doherty said. She says she makes sure that during their programs are as holistic as possible. Same thing, we're speaking to partners, organizations that want to utilize our platforms, our programs, make sure that everything is not coming with a half and half. It makes it very difficult at the end of the day. Oh, I want to do only these parts because this is where my money is up to. If you have a budget, let that budget stick to the amount of people that it can. It's better off that they get the full experience of everything at the end of the day. And for also EdTechs, build something that makes it very easy for people to learn, earn, and also relearn again. Just like what we're doing, we built a platform where the courses are there. You're doing your apprenticeship physically, but there's something you don't understand, but somehow you saw it during the learning. You can go back, rewatch it, relearn it, even give an opportunity for you to speak to tutors to speak about. And that's the way we can be able to, grow and make sure that people get to, learn and also earn at the same time.
Thank you, Dr. Doherty. And this is both those who want to design or any other partners or stakeholders that you also think are critical for this learning to earning journey.
It's not just about the certification. Sure. They have to provide the startup toolkit or seed funding. Then apart from that, internship and linkages also has to be provided for the for the youth. Then also post-training mentorship and coaching has to be. So those three things are key. Because if you train without startup or seed funding, what are you doing? At the end of the day, they just go back to what they were, what they were doing before. And also need to integrate the employability skills or soft skills, work ethics, and all these things are important. That makes your training holistic. And mindset is important because many of these young people, some of them, we have trained them, they want to go back to their safe zone. You ask them again, they are afraid to take risk. You ask them, and we have gone back to tailoring. But there are so many opportunities, so we keep pushing, keep mentoring them to, come out of their shell. So it's important that the government or training provider don't just do training because you want to train. Yeah. You train 1,000 because of the numbers. Even if it's 100, let it be holistic. Integrate all these things so that at the end of the day, you can have people whose lives would have changed for the better.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Chioma and Dr. Doherty. It's been really amazing having this conversation here with you today. And until our next episode, I remain your host, Nisimadu. Bye for now.
Tech Mondays, brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.